lot of people in our community living in desperate need that folks just aren't aware of.
For years, leaders with the Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy have worked to help people across the Queen City, and now they have a new leader helping in those pursuits.
Toussaint Romain is joining us this morning to talk about the group's efforts. It is a pleasure to have you with us on your first day on the job. How are things going this morning?
Beautiful so far. Another day in paradise. A lot of work to do, and so we're there now.
Well, we are, congratulations on the switch. We were just listening to that soundbite there from last week. Our chief legal correspondent, Seema Iyer, got a chance to sit down with you. And you mentioned there in that soundbite, you know, that there are a lot of issues that we face here in the Charlotte area. As you look around and sort of give our city a grade, what are the biggest issues that we're facing?
Yeah, so I mean, it's a grade that I probably wouldn't want to say out loud, but it's not a good grade. I think our community, we know we have an issue with upward mobility and economic opportunity for Black, brown, and really our poor white folks and within Charlotte. And so we have a lot of work to do, and I think the greatest need isn't necessarily issue-based, it's people-based, right? There are folks in our community that need help, and this organization is taking the lead in providing that help. And so we have a long way to go. It's been around since 1967, but it's been doing phenomenal work. And so we're going to continue that work under this next chapter.
And Toussaint, for people who may not realize, having an attorney or getting legal advice or help, it kind of bleeds over into just about every aspect of life. And if you don't have that help, sometimes you end up even deeper in the hole than you were to start out with.
That's absolutely correct. And we look at the number of homicides within Charlotte-Mecklenburg, and we're always scratching our heads about how do we end the murders? How do we end this killing? How do we address the crime within our city? And I would suggest to you or submit to you that the crime is really a result of a failed system that helps folks deal with their civil issues. So we have the courthouse, the third floor. If you've ever been there, you know you have to go to window to window to window to window to get help. So we have a landlord-tenant situation. Someone's being evicted or facing some bad living conditions. They go to the courthouse and they get more frustrated being there than not. Having a lawyer on your side, having a lawyer next to you, having a lawyer give you legal information, advice, and support, as well as advocacy, really helps folks walk through this process and ultimately really challenges or ends that frustration that could result in a criminal justice system situation. So we're here to really try to have our impact on the homicides, but we're really addressing consumer protection, landlord-tenant, immigration issues, and really every civil issue that you could consider that a lot of us take for granted because maybe we don't have to be in that situation or deal with it, or maybe because we've had advocates or lawyers really help navigate us through that process. This is an office of navigators. We're trying to do that work.
I think it's certainly noble work what you're doing. I've always said to my wife, you always need a friend group that has a mechanic, a doctor, and a lawyer. As long as you have, you know, one of those three in your friend groups, you're good. But you're right, a lot of us don't have that, or you have one of the three. You mentioned immigrant services is something you're doing. I would think that with the Ukraine-Russian war that's going on, that we're going to see an influx of Ukrainian immigrants, and you guys are ready to help in however you can.
That's right. The Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy is the largest provider of immigrant services in both North and South Carolina. We provide the most immigrant services here. And I have a chance to work with the Governor Cooper, on a commission he appointed me to. And we're taking stock as to how many Ukrainians we're going to see within North Carolina, but in particular in Charlotte. And so that influx hasn't happened yet. But if and when it does, the Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy will be ready to address those needs and concerns.
You've got a small but mighty team there. You all can't do what you do without the help of attorneys taking on pro bono clients. I would imagine that you're always looking for more people to step up and give who have that legal expertise.
Yeah, that's right. We have 300,000 people in Charlotte-Mecklenburg who qualify, who are eligible for these services. The Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy The 40 attorneys who are here represent about 4,000 of those families. That leaves a large number of individuals who are not getting the support we're talking about. But we have about 500 pro bono attorneys who volunteer their time, show up here, support us. We team up with Legal Aid of North Carolina to also provide services. And still, it's not enough. So we could definitely use more folks, more attorneys, more community advocates, community representatives, anyone who's willing to show up to really help us serve the people who are our neighbors and help us move forward as a community.
If there's someone out there who thinks you all might be a good fit to help them, what's the best way to contact someone on your team, or if they'd like to help you help others? How do they do that?
Yeah, great. You can always contact us by phone at 704-376-1600 or donate online. Visit us online at Charlotte Center for Legal Advocacy. I'd even give out my cell phone number, right? Because that's how committed we are to doing this. And that number is 828-434-5895. And I'm putting myself out there because there are folks struggling that need help, that are in desperate need. And when we help the most vulnerable, I'll continue to say, we help everyone within our community. And so the need is there, and your support will be greatly appreciated, whether it's time, treasure, or talent. But let's team up together. Let's do this together.
Toussaint Romain giving out his cell phone number on day number 1, not even 2 hours into the official workday. I know there's a lot of work to be done, and it starts within ourselves and in our local community. So thanks for what you're doing, and we look forward to staying in touch with you.
Thank you. Look forward to working together, too. Thank you all.
Thank you.